Yo, what's going on? 4/14, April 14th, Monday. We kind of fucked up, huh, Graham? Didn't record a podcast last week.
Yeah, we didn't
That's
miss much,
okay.
though.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. How are you doing, man? How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm hyped for, got a little sports weekend coming up ahead of me, so we'll get into it, but I'm excited.
Oh, next time to play in? Nah, not funny, dude.
Seed, buddy, okay.
That was not cool, dude. Why did I say that? That was just not nice. There's not a bunch of sports besides, and I didn't realize how big a deal it is because it's everywhere on Twitter. Everyone cares about the Masters, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a golf guy, but it was pretty dope. The last round, I don't even like Rory because he seems like a cornball, and I hate how he
I was cheering for the
hates
other guy.
Justin Rose or was
Yeah.
that was yeah. And they're like boys too, right? That's cool. But everything I've seen from Roy in the last like 5 years, it seems like he's a cornball who hates on everyone who goes to live and is like, you have no sportsmanship or anything. And he just seems like too much of a preppy, you can win the right way, you can't win the wrong way type kind of guy. And that shit annoys me. How do you feel about this? You're super
Yeah,
knowledgeable.
I don't even think I'm tapped in enough. I didn't even know that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I like a redemption arc. Seems like it's a little bit of a redemption for him. Seems cool. Like Grand Slam's obviously really rare. Like I like that. Like I don't know. Individual sports are weird because I feel like a lot of times like the the crowd that's there like just kind of like bands around one guy. And like the way they were chanting his name is like it was pretty sick. Of like they wanted him to win. Like maybe they're fans of other golfers, but like it does seem like there's like in an individual sport there's a higher appreciation for like legacy and like importance of these individual accomplishments where like you do cheer for them to happen even if like he's not your guy. I don't know.
It is weird also, like, I personally, I don't know if this is how you're supposed to watch individual sports, but you root for guys and then you root against guys, right?
Yeah.
And then that seems weird because if you go to Augusta, you have to clap every time someone wins,
Yeah.
bro. But no other sport, if you're not rooting for that person, are you going to clap when the other team wins? So it is weird like that. I guess that happens in tennis, though, too. But it's usually just whoever's at home,
Right.
whoever the home guy. Or if it's like a special legacy type match, or if it's like an underdog, I guess. But that's just humans, I suppose. Anything else on the Masters?
No.
Happened? How'd your
No,
dad
I
like
was-
it? Did he cry?
He was pretty locked in. He was happy. Like he was cheering for Rory hard, which I don't really know. Like I think that's kind of a similar thing of just like he's been watching a lot so he was like wanted the guy to get the accomplishment he's been searching for, but I didn't know he was as into Rory.
The human reaction of him afterwards was pretty dope. Of him just like crying.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cringe, but that's okay.
What? Why? But it was actually genuine. I feel like a lot of them.
Fake, though.
Oh, I didn't think it felt fake at all.
Wasn't
Dude,
there,
he
like-
hadn't won a major in 11 years, dude.
Yeah.
And he had never
it's
won
cool,
the
but,
Masters.
like,
And he was
I
like
don't
the
know.
best golfer in the league for like almost a decade.
I couldn't help my reaction. I thought it was cringe. That was all.
Alright. All right, so these are the guys who hate Jason Tatum. I understand now. Okay.
Oh my god.
What other sports? MLB, what's going on in there, huh? Sox suck.
All the teams in the National League are winning every game, and all the teams in the American League are losing every game. There's 5 teams who have at least 10 wins. They're all in the NL. 3 of them are in the NL West.
How do I always luck out? I'm in the AFC South for football.
Yeah.
I'm in the East for basketball. I'm in the AL for baseball.
But like this is kind of expected. Like before the season, I think if you did a power ranking, like 5 of the top 6 teams probably would have been National League teams, with maybe just the Yankees being in there for the American League. But it's been definitely emphasized a bit at the beginning of this year, and we'll see. I mean, it's definitely early still, and I think there are teams that are underperforming in the American League, but there's also teams that I think are doing exactly as they should. So we'll see what changes. But it's a strange start.
Here's some news. Aaron Judge, captain of
Yeah.
America. Dude,
It's
why?
good. I mean,
what about Trout,
what?
bro? What about Mookie?
But like they'll be on the team, and like Judge is the best American player in the league right now, so I think it's fine.
I just don't like Judge.
I know, but
Do
I
you
think
like
it's good.
Judge?
Yeah, I like Judge. I think it's good too.
Why is he
because
ass in the postseason though?
It's small sample. Like postseason in MLB is weird. It's small sample. It's not. He's not just bad in the postseason. He just has been bad in the postseason. But anyways, it's good because he didn't play last time, and I think that he will if he's like, guys are going to be like, oh, Aaron Judge is playing, now I'm going to play. And the big concern last year, our lineup was fine, or last time our lineup was fine, but the pitching was just horrible. But there's not a lack of American pitchers, so I think if guys like Szns or Zach Wheeler or Chris Sale commit to it, there could be like a little bit of like following in the line of these guys. So it's good. I'm glad. I don't like they're calling him Captain America because that's David Wright's nickname, but
Really?
he can take, yeah, because he hit like a big home run in the finals in 2010 for the
Wait,
Baseball
the World
Classic.
Baseball Classic was around in 2010?
Well, yeah, it went away. That was the thing.
Oh, why did it go away? It rules.
There was supposed to be one in 2020, I think, and then it didn't happen, and so they didn't do it for a while. It's sick. It's so cool, and it'll be
It
way cooler
is.
if these guys actually participate. I don't know what's going to happen with the pitchers because obviously there's injury risk, and these guys are just going to be really concerned about it. And so, are the Pirates going to let Paul Skeens go to the World Baseball Classic and pitch 15 really high leverage innings when he could be like getting ready for the season in spring training?
Yeah, I will say, of all the sports where the international circuit comes and goes and players don't play and opt out for injury reasons, it does seem to make a lot of sense if you're a pitcher in the MLB to
For sure.
forego that more than any other sport.
But we'll see. I mean, maybe Judge and others, and I know Trout has already said like he's in if Judge wants him, which of course he'll be in, and I'm sure.
Wait,
Mookie
who
will
said
play
he's in?
again.
Mookie? Or Trout? Yeah, I saw
Mookie
that.
will obviously be on the roster and guys like that. We'll see if they're able to convince some of the players on their own teams to come join. Will Mookie be able to convince Glasnow or Blake Snell to come pitch? Will, well, I guess Yankees don't really have any pitchers worthy of the roster, but will guys be able to convince their teammates? I
But
hope
the
so.
Yankees suck, pitching wise. Besides Garrett Cole's
I
hurt.
saw a tweet about like their team ERA. I'll find it, but
Oh,
it's
that's
bad.
awesome. Wait, are they asked the Yankees?
No,
Who's first in the AL East?
I believe the Blue Jays are in first, but all the games are within like two wins of each other.
Okay. Also, I'm on ESPN. There's a WNBA draft preview. There's 3 rounds. Oh,
Yep.
it's because there's only like 12 teams, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's like the WNBA victors coming in, I think.
So a 3rd round pick never plays. They never
I think even,
they
like, a
get
lot of the-
cut.
I think a lot of the second round picks even get cut.
Yeah. I remember, Megan Gustafson, who won, I think she won back-to-back Player of the Years at Iowa. She ended up getting cut. She's on a team now, but she had to go to like Europe for 2 years, which is crazy. Like, she was the best player in WNBA or women's college basketball.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, there's the WNBA victors come in. Her name's like Dominique something, and she's like supposed to be 6'7" and some do it all.
WNBA
But,
victors?
Like,
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama. She's from France, and she's supposed to be a stud, and she's super tall. So we'll see.
So is she gonna go like 2 after
She's supposed to
Paige?
go second, yeah.
Well, let's look at this draft pick real quick. Mock
Hopefully I'm
draft.
not way off on
Who do
that.
you have? Oh yeah, Dominique Malanga.
Yeah.
Give me your top 5. Give me Graham's big board.
I got my top 3 is those 2 and Haley Van Lith. Those are the only 3 I know, but I'll be locked in. I'll watch
I
the
don't think
draft.
Van Lith is. Oh, she is at number 11.
Yeah, she's a draft pick. I'll watch the draft. I like learning about them, so we'll see.
Did you happen to look at Van Lith's SI body or a swimsuit
Body?
issue?
No, I did
Swimsuit
not
issue?
see it.
It was a good photo shoot.
Great.
Glad we cleared that up. I think we're hitting all the.
Oh, she's September 9th, 2001. We were born 2 days apart. How about that?
She's the 9, you're the 11. How about
She's the
that?
9, I'm the 11. 9/11.
Wow, that's beautiful. Seriously, they'll never forget.
Yeah, never forget.
NBA playoffs are starting soon.
They are.
True. Good point. The West. Wait. Dude, I'm so happy the Timberwolves are in the play-in, and I hope they lose so
They're
bad.
not,
I mean,
but that's okay.
oh shit, my bad. So it's the Warriors and the Grizzlies tonight,
Yep.
9:30.
That's tonight?
Yeah. Oh no, tomorrow. Sorry,
Oh,
Tuesday.
I was like, whoa.
No,
not ready
and
for
then
that.
the Hawks, Magic are tomorrow too. They're the early game. I mean, you can rename the play-in tournament Hawks versus Bulls.
Yeah.
Like it's destined.
Yeah.
Um,
I saw a stat that Valanciunas has played in the play-in every year of its existence. I thought that was pretty funny.
the play-in sucks.
Yes and no. I think it makes the end of the regular season a little bit more entertaining, especially when there are situations like this year in the West where a lot of the teams are going
Dude.
for it. But it sucks. Think about, like, go look at the West standings. It's really unfortunate that the Grizzlies have 8 more wins than the 9 seed, but they don't actually get the 8
So
seed.
then it makes no sense. So
I know. I think it makes the end of the regular season a little more entertaining, and it definitely preserves, like, a lot less teams are going to be tanking, but
why did it make the end of the regular season more entertaining?
because the threat of falling from the 6th to the 7th seed is way bigger than it was in years past. Because if you fall from the 6th to the 7th
Yeah.
seed, normally the Warriors would be like, "Oh, we don't care. We play." They might have even tanked for it. Now they would play the Houston Rockets in the first round, but now they have to beat the Grizzlies, who they're going to beat. But still, it adds a wrinkle, and I think it's good for that reason. But then you look at the 4 teams in the East play, and you're just like, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah. I hate that. Well, I think that's stupid. Like, if the Mavericks miraculously get out of the plane and the Warriors lose twice, like a 39-43, it takes away
Yeah.
an already diminished regular season,
Yep.
which is already too long, arguably, and it makes those games valueless.
Yeah, and I think that this is kind of the NBA's first attempt at, like, what MLB's been doing with wildcard teams. But what we realized after many years in MLB is that one game wildcard was not fair. It was not a representative sample, and so we'll see if maybe this play-in eventually becomes a 3-game series or it becomes a 5-game series. Like, we'll see what happens. I don't know if the one-game play-in, eventually a team that we think is definitely a championship contender is going to lose in this play-in, and then there's going to be some spark for something to change. So we'll see if that happens eventually.
A championship contender is not going to be in the play-in.
I mean, I think the Warriors can win the championship.
I don't. You
Okay.
think they would? You think they? Okay, maybe.
But think about this. Do you think the Lakers can win the championship?
Yeah, that's true.
They finished 2 games up, so if you
That's
think
true, that's true, that's
bounce
true,
either
that's
way,
true.
the Lakers would be in the play-in, and then you'd be saying the same thing. So
Okay, I mean more 9 and 10, but they're making the playoffs already without the plan.
right, but they're not going to get rid of it.
Yeah, the NBA Cup, that's really working now. Who won again?
But, okay, but
I already
Bucks won.
forgot.
The
I
Bucks
already
won.
forgot.
It's
Okay,
still, it is cool in the moment. You got to admit, like,
It
you want to
is.
win.
it
but
just
you forget about
sucks that if it really did matter and people still actually
Yeah.
cared, we would be talking.
But I still like it. Like, I get up more for those games. I'm, like, more excited for them. It's a long time ago, so we don't remember.
Especially if you don't think you're gonna win the ship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of didn't
Lakers-
want to win the NBA Cup because I was like, do you really want to be the team that wins the cup and then lose in the first
Like
round?
the
of
Lakers
playoffs?
last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think it's fun. Cool courts.
Dude, I hated. You like the courts?
Yeah, it's whatever. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. You guys on about your head coach, Tom Thibodeau?
Well, it's about
Wait,
a
is it
little bit
Tom?
about Thibodeau. Yeah, Thomas. It's
How
a
do
little
you?
bit about Thibs. It's a little bit about the Knicks.
Okay. Give it
Okay.
to me, buddy. Hey, the floor is yours, please.
Thibs gets criticized a lot for running his players into the ground, for playing his players too many minutes.
Wait, by the way, really quick, as we're on coaches, dude, I know he just got fired, bud. He going through just as a high level view of his season as a coach, gotta be one of the worst coaching seasons of all time. It was crazy. It was crazy. All right, continue, Tibbs. Sorry.
So he gets that hate. Most of it stems from the fact that Derrick Rose tore his ACL in a game where I believe they were up by 20 points, something like that. That's what a lot of it stems from. He does play his players a lot of minutes. This season has brought a lot of things to a head for me, considering that he's gotten a lot of criticism this year specifically, and I think it's completely unfair, honestly, because we have the biggest discrepancy, I would say, in terms of talent between our starting lineup and bench in the league. So he should be playing our starters as many minutes as he's playing them, if not more. We have such a bad bench that it's really embarrassing, honestly, that it's when we have to play Landry Shamet 25 minutes a game. Or
Give me your 6, 7, 8 guys.
Deuce McBride is a 6th man. Mitchell Robinson
He's
is the 7th man. Landry Shamet is the 8, and Campaign is the 9.
So, yeah, that's
That's
campaign. Campaign are tough minutes out there, I will say.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's rough.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think I've been frustrated with the way that it's covered, specifically by the media. I know that we were watching the same Knicks Celtics game a few weeks ago, and they showed the graphic for the amount of minutes that all the Knicks starters had played and the amount of points. What they leave off is that all of the Celtics starters had played the exact same amount of minutes in that game because both teams treated it as a very important game. They were trying very hard to win. Jason Tatum played 47 minutes. It was an overtime game. But that was a really important game for both teams for different reasons, and they both tried really hard to win. But only one team is being given this, look how many minutes the Knicks are playing. Then today, I'm listening to the Zach Lowe pod with Bill Simmons, and they're talking about, which I 100% agree with. They're talking about one of the things that makes guys like Tatum and Edwards so special is how durable they are. They play so many minutes during the year. They never miss a game. And that is like, I 100% agree. That's incredible to have a player like that. But then when it comes to the Knicks, when it comes to us, it's completely different. And I don't really understand why. Because when you look at our players, Mikal Bridges, again, played 82 games, as he always does. Super durable. He played a lot of minutes a game. He seemed to be fine. He played all 82. Josh Hart plays the most minutes per game in the entire league. He played 77 games. Incredible. OG Anunoby has been incredibly injury prone over the course of his whole career. He played 74 games. Incredibly durable. Cat, I would say a lot of other people think he's injury prone as well. He played 72 games. And Jalen Brunson is the only one on our team who missed any time at all, and he still played 65. So I think it's just frustrating that certain stars are given this, like, they're put on a pedestal for being so durable when it comes to playing all these minutes and all these games, and it's so great that Tatum plays every game. He's always out there for the team, because it is. But then when it comes to the Knicks players, maybe because they're like slightly worse than Tatum, like obviously OG Anunoby's not as good as Tatum, but he's a starter and the third best player on a team that views itself as a championship contender. When he plays 74 games and he's out there all the time, the narrative is that Thibs is running his players into the ground and they're going to hit a wall in the playoffs and all these things. And I just don't really understand it. And all of that being said, I still think Thibs should be fired, but not for these reasons. I think that he's not the coach to take us to the top.
I never heard this. I didn't know you wanted Thibs gone.
He has had a really bad season, and I don't think this roster is ideal, as we've talked about on this pod before. The Cat trade was made out of necessity in a really weird time where we weren't able to upgrade our roster after that, and we kind of just went into we were expecting to go into the season with Randall and DiVincenzo, and then we just traded for Cat and weren't able to build a roster around it. So I do think next year is going to be a better and more important year for us. But he has done a bad job. He has not put our players in optimal situations to succeed, specifically Mikal Bridges, who he's more talented than he's played this year, and I think that Thibs is a large reason for that. And I think that there is a chance if something bad happens in the first round, I think he's definitely gone. And I think that if the second round series goes as I think you and I predict it to go, there's a chance that he could go as well. So all that being said, I am really frustrated with the way the media covers the Knicks and how they treat the Knicks players differently compared to players like Tatum and Edwards, who are praised for being so durable because they should be. And I just wish that it wasn't always what they talk about on the national broadcasts. That's what I have to say.
Okay, I think that a large part of it, you can say, yeah, the Ant thing, kind of weird. I think it's just because everyone fucking glazes Ant because he's, like, cool, which it makes me hate Ant, but objectively,
like
Ant's cool. I know, it's just annoying how everyone thinks he's like MJ, whatever.
Yeah.
I think a large part of it is that you guys went into the season being a championship contender. I don't think... What would you consider yourself? An A-tier contender? A B-tier contender? Like, let's say the S are the Celtics, Cavs, Thunder. Would you think you're A-tier?
In the A-tier, but I think there's a big separation between the A-tier and the S-tier. But yes, I think we're in the A-tier.
Who else is in the A-tier? Lakers, you, Warriors?
Yeah. Warriors.
Denver?
Clippers, probably.
Okay. So, I just think that you guys have not had a dominant season by any stretch of the imagination. And if you guys are playing so much, all of your guys, besides Brunson, who was hurt for a significant amount of time this season, I feel like the hope is that you guys would have been better. And you would have 100%. Won things. So then, yeah, but I get what you're saying. I just think the hope, like if Kawhi played the entire season, then, and they were good, then no one would say anything. They would be praising him, obviously, because Kawhi never does that. But if they did have a season similar to the Knicks, even though, wow, your guys' records are almost identical.
But that's what's frustrating is the standards are different. We won 51 games, which is incredibly good compared to where this franchise has been in previous years. Yet for some reason, it's not good enough. And I, just not to interrupt you, but I agree with what you're saying. We have a top 10, a top 20, a top 40, a top 50, and a top 60 player, whatever you want to call it, and they all play so much, and we only won 51 games. That's not good, and that's because
that's what I'm saying.
That's because the coach has been bad this year, and he should be fired. But it's when you have played. Like,
well,
really
are people calling for his head because they're playing him too much?
Not the
That's
Knicks
what
fans.
people.
The Knicks fans are saying he should be fired for different reasons.
Oh yeah, I don't think. Wait, I don't know. Are people calling for his head just because they play people? But
I mean, I think there's a lot of people that will say Thibs can never be a championship level coach because he runs his players to the ground.
all right, yeah, that's okay. Well, that's stupid. I don't know. Yeah, you guys should be better. So you think it's Thibs?
I think it's part of it. I think the roster is not super well constructed, and we could talk about that a bit in the offseason once we get there. But I think he hasn't done a good job, and I don't know if the ceiling with him is there, at least based on what we've seen. Because let's really think about it. Like, I just want to. It's easy to compare the Knicks and Celtics because, like, okay, Tatum and Brunson. Tatum is better than Brunson. I know that I joke about it a lot, but he is. But those are both top 10 players. Cat and JB, those are both top 20 players. Derek White and OG Anunoby, those are probably both top 30-ish players. Mikal Bridges and Drew Holiday, those are probably top 40 players. And then you guys have Porzingis, which is definitely an advantage over like what we have in Josh Hart as our fifth
And
starter.
then our 6, 7, 8, yeah.
It's better, but it's not. You don't. If you looked at it in a vacuum, you don't really feel like your 6, 7, 8 is like that, like gangbusters. You have a coach that puts them in a really ideal position to succeed, and we do not.
I think, yeah, the coach. Dude, yeah.
But
I don't know.
Sam
I think
Howell
the
on an
roster
average team is
construction.
not going to be a rotation player.
No, it's you're right. The system works for the
Yep.
personnel that we have, and maybe that is And what to your point, maybe it is a mixture of the team construction and Thibs, and I guess it's just perfectly aligned for the Celtics. Like we shoot an insane amount of threes, because every single person besides Luke can shoot threes.
Yeah.
Which is
But
crazy.
so can our team. That's what's frustrating. Everyone on our team shoots over 35% from three, and they should be shooting more threes. Cat shot the least amount of threes in his career this season. That's horrible.
Yeah, okay.
You trade for Cat to improve the floor spacing, and he shoots 4.7 threes a game.
Yeah.
That is just like not okay. It's not
Okay. I'm learning. I don't know anything about Thibs outside of this storyline that everyone says that he plays.
Yeah.
So he's just bad.
I just think he hasn't had a good season. He was a
What does he do good at? What is he good at? People like him, I guess.
they
All
say
the guys like him.
Everyone who plays for him really likes him a lot. It seems like he has good defensive schemes, yet we're not a good defensive team. I think a lot of that is attributed to the fact that we have a pretty poor defensive point guard and defensive center, which is not ideal. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes. He prioritizes offensive rebounding, which I think is very good. But when you have a team that I would say has 4 well above average three-point shooters for their position, including 2 who are elite three-point shooters for their position, they should be shooting more. And it's just frustrating that he seems to prioritize the best shots rather than the best quality shots like Joe Mazzulla does, where he would rather have a good 3 than a great 2. And Thibs will never be that way. And I think that in this NBA, with the teams that we're competing against, you're going to have to change your tune and have Cat shooting 6 threes a game and Brunson shooting 8 threes a game and Bridges shooting 7 and all these guys just going up by a few, and they're not doing that right now. So we'll see what happens. I think there's a world where the Celtics series is a competitive 6-game series and Thibs keeps his job for one more year, and we see what happens there. But for the long-term health of the Knicks, I'm kind of hoping the Celtics series is a bit of a wake-up call and we look for a different direction. So we'll see.
Speaking of NBA, Ennis Freedom just texted me. Call me in for a playoff preview.
No.
I'm gonna call him real quick. See if you.
All right. He better be wearing his coach outfit.
He said he's driving. Ennis. Yo, you're live. Give me Lakers preview. Give me Lakers preview.
Okay, I think that people are underestimating how tough the T-Wolves are for a matchup for the Lakers.
Who's underestimating that, bro? Your Twitter is so.
Like 5 or 6.
Hold on, let me.
It could be a tougher series than that.
Yeah, I think it'll be Lakers in 6.
I think the premise of the offensive big three, like KD, Kyrie, Harden, is like your third best defender isn't good enough to guard our third best offensive player. And I think the Wolves have Nickeil Alexander-Walker and McDaniels, which is a pretty good matchup for Reeves, Luka, and Braun.
Dude, you have Luka.
What's pretty good?
Can you hear that? He said, "What's pretty good?"
Just in comparison with the other like Western playoff teams, I think the Thunder are arguably the only.
Well, dude, I don't think anyone's arguing with you that the Timberwolves is probably. Let's see. So who could you have played? You could have. Damn, the West is just rough. I guess would you rather play them or the Warriors?
I don't know. That's a tough one because the Warriors are so good at small ball, which is what we want to play, and we've seen what happens with Luka and Gobert twice plus the Olympics.
Yeah, I don't think you want to play the Warriors and like they want to play small ball. Dude, they get to put Draymond at the 5, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how many? The Warriors have one shooter that I trust though in the playoffs.
Buddy.
Jimmy buckets. Okay. So what do you have?
The last time Jimmy had a real playoff run was what, like 23, 2 years ago?
When he beat us in the Well, that's 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that's not that. That's not like a decade ago.
That's fair.
All right. So what is it? Lakers and how many?
I think 6, but a close 6.
That's what I said. You're saying I'm overlooking the Warriors. We said the same thing, bro. No, I think that's what most people would say. Lakers in 6, probably. Dude, you're good, bro. You have Luka Doncic.
We'll see.
You just will never say his name right.
How do you say it? Doncic?
Yeah.
I like Doncic.
Yep.
Doncic. All right. Hey, thanks for calling in, man.
All right, bye.
You suck. Dude. Do you think the Lakers should be nervous?
No, because they have the 2 best players in the series for the playoff situation. I don't really trust Ant to be a closer in a game. I get what he's saying about the matchup and the fact, like, you can view it either way of, well, the Lakers go small and the Wolves have Rudy, so Rudy's going to feast on the boards, or the Lakers go small and the Wolves have Rudy and Rudy's going to get cooked. And it's probably both, a little bit of a combination. But I think the Lakers are... They're going to win the series. I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, I think the Lakers will win the series. I hope, though. I hate... No, whoa, what am I saying? See, this is what I think about the Lakers
I
Celtics.
hate the Wolves for some reason.
I hate seeing people around me happy, bro. And they're these Minnesota fans, like, they think they know championships, dude. They talk so much shit. You think if you saw them on Twitter and stuff, you think they're the most, like, lovable franchise who just like, oh, shucks, we lost again. Dude, they talk so much shit. It's so annoying. You have not won anything, dude. Your last championship was the Twins in, like, 95 or some shit? Yeah. It pisses me off, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah. Sorry.
And they made it, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, could Ant, like, have an insane series and pull it out? I guess possibly. He should practice pulling it out, honestly. But,
dude, well, I mean, but dude, doesn't that feel like we saw it, dude? Like last year? Like, Luka just killed him.
Yep. We'll probably see it again.
Yeah.
And his team now is probably better, so. Yeah, they're going to have no chance. I think the 3 that Ennis listed to guard those guys, like, yeah, you can say that. But that's like when the Knicks were like, we're going to get Mikal Bridges and OG to stop Tatum and Brown. Like, yeah, okay, they're still going to score 40 and 30 every game.
Well, dude, and Luka, dude, that's so like, obviously, you can say you can't say those 3 did not sound like that crazy.
I mean, no,
you know
those
the best
are good
guy's
3.
gonna. You know the best guy's gonna guard Luka, right? Like the best perimeter guy.
And Luka's going to cook him.
Against anybody in the league. Like, what are we talking like this? Yeah.
And that's like, it's the same thing of like, I don't know. I think that obviously I don't think defense, like individual defense like this is overrated, but I do think that to an extent, there's not really any perimeter guy in the league that can shut down the best perimeter guys in the league. And Luka is probably the best perimeter guy in the league.
Unless it's my MIP.
Yeah, we'll talk about that though, because he does not exactly shut down every perimeter guy, but we'll talk about that.
He's still my guy.
Still my guy too.
Yeah. All right. We done with news headlines?
Who do you got? Well, I guess we'll do the non-play-in series, but who do you got? Pacers, Bucks. Rapid fire.
I would rather play the Pacers as a Celtics
That's
fan.
not what it's asking.
I think the Pacers are gonna win.
Yeah, in how many?
6.
Okay, I'm also going Pacers in 6. Knicks, Pistons.
I don't know. The Pistons are kind of. No, I got the Knicks. I think you guys might come out to play 5.
I think this is about as ideal of a first round matchup as we could have drawn in terms of all the teams in the East, and I got Knicks in 5 as well. Okay, Lakers, Wolves. I think you have Lakers in 6. I'm going to say Lakers in 5. Personally.
I'm going to say Lakers in. Yeah, I'll stick with 6.
Okay.
These are the lamest predictions ever, but yeah.
Nuggets, Clippers.
Nuggets, Clippers. Kawhi's good.
Yeah, played 47 minutes the other day, 46 minutes.
Damn. Give me Denver in 7.
Okay, I'm going Denver at 6. All right, so
Ooh. Dude, Denver. Yeah, I don't know.
those are our early predictions.
Who's their coach?
Revisiting. David Adelman.
Okay. Wait. What about the play-ins?
I mean, I got
Warriors, Rockets.
Yeah, and then Grizzlies, Thunder. For Warriors,
Who do you
Rockets,
have?
I got Warriors in 6.
Well, that's it.
I mean, that's chalk.
Would
But
they be favored? What do you mean
probably
that's
not.
chalk?
Everyone's picking the Warriors. I mean, to beat the
yeah.
Rockets, everyone's going to pick them. I don't think it's they'll be the favorite, but it'll probably be pretty close.
All right, I'll go Rockets in 7.
For a 2-7 seed, they're only 4 wins apart. So like,
wait, rank the best. Damn, every single first round besides the Thunder is a sick fucking matchup in the West. Yeah. And the East, it's just yeah,
nothing.
Yeah, dude, the Pistons though.
Yeah, I'll be in the building for Game 1.
Bro.
It was a tough decision. I am very nervous that they will lose, and I'll regret.
Who are you going by yourself?
I'm going by myself.
Oh damn! What jersey are you gonna wear? Brunchen?
I think I'm gonna wear RJ.
No, don't. That's stupid. We're Brunchen.
No, I think I'm gonna wear RJ.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
Honor the fallen soldiers.
In a first round playoff series against the Pistons? That's something you do if you get over the mountaintop.
No, I want to wear RJ.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Crazy,
he had to be sacrificed for this, for OG Anunoby's leap. And
by the
way, OG Anunoby took.
Was that addition by subtraction?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to shout out OG Anunoby took a huge leap at the end of the season. Hopefully it's real, but he was like the last 2 months he was averaging like 25 points a game. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
OG's good. OG's big as fuck, dude.
So good.
Okay.
And then Cavs. Cavs Celtics had sweeps for both. So no, Celtics lose one game. Celtics lose one game.
You know what? Dude, we suck against the Magic.
I know, and I feel like you guys always struggle against the Hawks too.
Yeah, we lost them in the play-in in the NBA Cup. I mean.
Yeah. They'll win one game and you'll get nervous. Trey will have like 37.
Yeah.
And then
that was like the Heat last year, bro.
Yeah.
We lost game 1. I'm
so
like,
nervous.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
And then it was just the Pacers, the ECF when Brown hit the corner 3. That was when I knew it was going to be special. And then, no, honestly, the moment I knew it was when Dallas won. Well, no, when Dallas and Minnesota came to the Western Conference Finals. When Jokic lost is when I finally took a deep breath.
Yep. We can do some quick awards and then move to our draft if you want to.
Oh, yeah. Let's do awards first.
All right. Let's go least fun to most fun. Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I totally forgot. Who? Fucking the guy from UConn who did the dunk contest?
He's an option.
Hold on. Let me look up the odds.
All right.
I think it should still be given to Jeremy Kane.
Honestly, that's true.
Oh, yeah. Stephon Castle. He's minus money right now? Oh, yeah. He's minus 1,500. Oh, Ricochet?
Is he really?
He's good.
I picked Ricochet. I just think that he has like contributed to winning basketball more. He's legitimately a good player right now, whereas Castle is not an actual player on like a contending team at this moment.
Well, if you want to make that argument, Edie's been pretty solid all year.
Edie's been good. I think he's a good contender. I don't know. I've just been impressed when I've watched Ricochet play. I think he's obviously number one pick. You have these expectations, but I feel very confident that he's going to be a starter on a really good team very soon. And Castle, I'm not as sure because the shooting has been a little bit more suspect. And I guess I'm really just arguing for a future. And Castle probably should win the award, but his stats are just kind of underwhelming.
Damn. Ricochet is averaging 13.
Yeah, on like pretty good percentages.
That is pretty good. Yeah. What about Alex Sarr?
I like him.
He's ass, dude.
Yeah,
he's
but
so bad.
He's a 19-year-old center, and I think he's shown flashes. I've been impressed in a few games.
Okay,
buddy.
What's the next award?
Let's go to most improved. I think we have the same guy for this.
I got Dyson Daniels.
I got Dyson Daniels as well. He's so good.
So this sounds weird because our take is like what's stupid is Cade. Like
Yeah, but
Cade should not receive
he
votes.
should be.
Huh?
Cade has just lived up to the expectations. So
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Argument,
Well, no, expectations are. He was just good last year.
yeah. Yeah.
I think that's different than expectations. Like,
It also,
whatever.
but it matters that he was a number one pick, and he's just going through the trajectory that almost every good number one pick has gone through.
Okay, so I'm kind of hating the odds here, but my other contenders, I think it should be Daniels. Dude, he broke a century steal record of the century, so that's like cool.
I do just want to say that in the last 2 games against the Hawks, Jalen Brunson has scored 36 and 34 points with Dyson Daniels guarding him the entire time. But continue.
Brunson's that guy. The other people that I would consider giving it to, like Reeves, like he's turned into an all-star caliber player, and he was former 6-man, whatever.
Yes.
And then I don't know if this is a hot take to you, Mobley, bro. Mobley was a cone damn near offensively. He makes plays now, dude. He hits the 3 when he needs to.
I think the only reason I didn't consider him as much is because when you really do look at the stats, they're not that much different. And so while watching the games, he is definitely more intimidating offensively than he was in years past. There's not a crazy statistical improvement like there is with Daniels or even there is with Cade where I would give it to him, but it is a good shout. Like he is a lot better offensively.
I think if you want to think about what's changed about the Cavs from being a good team last year to this year, I think a lot of it is contributed to his jump offensively. So
yes, for sure.
That's not. I mean, and then also I don't know who you have for Depoy. Should we do that next?
Yes.
I have Triple J.
Okay.
I don't really know why. They're all the same to me. What's the difference? Or you want to do Daniels? Get freaky.
The only reason
really quick.
Yeah.
Depoy. Dude, by the way, this fucking Draymond.
It's so annoying.
Dude, chill out, bro.
Okay, the reason. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, you go. I'm just gonna ask you, Salgardo's never gonna win it again.
I think there's one guard. It seems like Lou Dort is getting some buzz.
The same way Smart did for the first couple of years before he got it.
The reason it's tough for me with a guy like Triple J is because the Grizzlies don't even have a top 10 defense, and I just
who do they else have defensively though?
Not much. They got Edie. I mean, but it's just I don't know. I really wanted to give it to Dort because they have by far the best defense in the league, and he is the best defensive player on the team.
Well, Shea.
Oh God. But I do feel like it's more of like a gang situation where they gang up on you and they have so many good defenders all the time. It's not one guy that's carrying. Whereas like Smart, even though I didn't think Smart should win, Smart was the guy for their defense. So I had a hard time, and I landed on Mobley because he is the defensive anchor of what is a top 10 defense. But I didn't really like it because he plays with another center, and that just makes his impact feel a little more muted when he's not the sole or even the main rim protector on his own team. He's not necessarily a guy you trust to put out there on perimeter players. So who is he actually? Like,
You're talking about Triple J or Mobley?
No, I'm talking about Mobley now. I don't think that his defensive burden is as big as some of guys like JJJ or even Draymond. I don't think Draymond should win, but I think Draymond's defensive burden and his defensive role is more important on his own team than Mobley's is. But the reason I landed on Mobley was because I do think he is actually the best defensive player on his team. He is a guy that you are scared to go against when you're playing against them, and they do have a top 10 defense. So shouts to Dort, shouts to Chris Dunn.
Wait, dude, Draymond's going to win this?
Yeah, he's going to win.
That's disgusting.
Shouts to Porzingis. If Porzingis played enough games, he'd be 100% in that contention, but he's never.
I think I've told you this, but dude, over blocks for prop bet on Porzingis is just cash every single time.
He's really
it was getting set at like 2.5 for random games, and it would cover. It was crazy. Yeah, he's he is elite.
He always was. He was great with us.
Who's the best defender in the NBA? Is it Dort? It might be Mobley.
That's a good question. No, I don't think it's Mobley. I think it's Draymond.
Dude.
But I don't think he should win Depoy. But I do think it's Draymond.
I don't know.
Or Dyson Daniels.
Yeah. Is Marcus Smart injured still?
He played some for the Wizards. When we played against them, We were up like 30, and then they put him in the third quarter, and he scored like he just went on an insane run, and then they were like they caught up to us, and then the coach took him out for the rest of the game. He was like, "You got to chill out." It was pretty funny.
Some of the last day of the NBA, if you're not in the wild west over there,
That's career
some
high day.
hilarious stat lines. Like Bronny played 45 minutes. We had two guys I've never even heard of on the Celtics. It was sick. Yeah, it's career high day. But I saw some people when Bronny got drafted, they bet it was a futures bet basically. Yeah, it was like plus 15 points one game in a season, and then they're like, today's the day. And he shot like 2 for 10.
4 points.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess the Blazers' defense is actually nice with the Chauncey. Shout out him, extension.
Yeah. He's a good coach. Yeah, who's the best defender in the NBA? That is a really good question, honestly.
Thompson.
Like, there's no perimeter
Amen.
defender. Yeah, he's up there. But there's not really a perimeter defender where, like, I guess you guys don't really have a, like, lead scoring guard like we do.
Well, it's probably Wemby when he's healthy.
Oh, yeah. I guess I wasn't counting him. There's no perimeter defender where I'm like, oh, no, I'm really scared that this guy is guarding Brunson tonight.
And, I mean, that's I think it's kind of slanted against them because it's impossible, dude, to guard on the, like, if you're a big, So that's why I think it is almost more impressive when a guy like Dyson Daniels or Lou Dort does what he does because, dude, they have to guard, first of all, the best player, by far the most skilled player on the court every single possession that they're in.
Go through a billion screens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing Thibs has talked about a lot this year about Bridges, of like just how physically demanding it is to go through 100 screens every single game whenever you're guarding the best perimeter player on the other team. It's just that's a tough burden to go through. So I give those guys props, but I don't think their impact, because of how the odds are stacked against them every time they play, is as high as someone like Draymond or Porzingis or even Rudy Gobert or those types of guys. I just think that their impact matters more because their impact can be felt more than someone like Amen Thompson, who, even if he's on his game, Luka could just score 45 against him.
That's a good point. Prediction. In the next 5 years, that's going to be a huge talking point. When they're talking about like defenders and stuff, Doris Burke, I'm going to hear bring it up 3 times in the first quarter. But like that's going to end up wearing on this primary defender because they got to go through 3 screens of possession, and she's probably right, but they're going to get obnoxious about it. Okay.
MVP.
Wait, the 6th man of the year. Pritch.
I didn't even put it, but I got Pritchard, yeah. Nas Reed shout out, but Pritchard he's had a good year.
His career is pretty crazy. Like, I'm glad we didn't trade him, obviously. Like, he's been great. Also, if you want to farm 6th man of the year, just go to the Celtics. I mean, we had like Brogdon, we had him.
The fact that Pritchard is averaging 14 points a game in the NBA is a miracle compared to where he was when he was drafted. So yeah, it's
pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, he had like 33. Like he just gets buckets, I guess. And then when he does actually play, like he always his stats are related to how much he plays. Obviously, MVP. You go.
Well, this one is tough because one guy is obviously
we're gonna have
the
the same
player.
guy.
He's the best player in the league. Everyone would agree with that. But one guy's team had just an exceptional season. And not to diminish his individual accomplishments, where he averaged, 33 points a game, and he barely even played in the fourth quarter. Like, he is incredible. But if you switch their places, I think we know what those teams would look like. I think we know what would happen if you gave Jokic HGA supporting cast. We know what that team would look like.
That would be sick.
We know how you feel when you're going up against those guys. We know the difference of what it feels like. And I just have a hard time picking anyone other than the best player in the world at the peak of his powers, having his career best season. If we voted for him all those other past years, he's been considerably better this year. He's shooting like 42% from 3.
He's averaging he's triple-double, guy.
His team has not played well. He has Russell Westbrook playing like 25 minutes a game next to him. It's Jokic for me. He's the best player in the world. He's at the peak of his powers. He just had his best season, and it's Jokic.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to spoil. I had on my list for the draft that we're going to do, best MVP seasons of all time. I had Westbrook.
Okay.
Triple-double season.
Yeah.
Jokic just did the same thing without trying to crash the boards on a free throw every single attempt, without trying to do all the shit that Russ did. He just did it like I hate the I hate the ethical argument, like Hooper argument.
But
Unless it's against SGA, because then I'll say, dude, SGA, what a foul baiter. Can you believe that? But dude, it's crazy. He averaged a triple-double in 2025, not trying to stat pad.
As a center.
As a center. It's insane. And without him, the Nuggets would be a playing team. They almost were. Yeah. And it's crazy. Jokic is the best player. He's my guy.
And I feel bad because I do think this is the Shea year. He's probably not going to – I don't know. We will see. But
he's winning.
I don't know.
What are the odds right now?
A lot of other stuff.
It does seem like there's a little late push.
Yeah, there's a late push. So we'll see. I think that
here's my.
What is he?
Oh, bro, minus 2,500.
It will just be sad if Jokic is 30, 13, and 10, and we look back and it says MVP 2. Like that's just not going to. be good.
It's just stupid. That's what the MVP is then. I feel like even since like Kobe, it's like whose turn is it this year?
If Jokic hadn't won 3 in the last 4 years, he would obviously be winning this year.
And I'm gonna be pissed about this until it's Tatum's turn.
And then he'll win next year, and it's fine.
Yeah. Tatum,
bro.
He might, bro.
He's never winning MVP.
All right, early bad take. Graham Elliott submission here. What do you mean, dude?
He averaged 30 a game on the 1 seed, and he finished 4th.
I know.
What he does is not conducive to MVP voting in that he doesn't average close to a triple-double. I guess he's like close-ish, but he's not a triple-double guy. He's not an all-defense guy. And
he might be all-defensive here soon. And he averages the most stats for each significant category on like one of the best teams every year.
But what he does is, like, if you look at the past MVP winners, they either all have averaged like 33 points a game, or they're all triple-double guys. And he's never going to be either of those things. I would say his points per game will just probably keep going down as they continue to have a better offensive system and have more guys who are going to put up more points. So we'll see.
Well, we're going to lose like 3 guys.
We're going to lose 4 things probably after next season. So.
Andrew. But we're getting KD, so.
That's addition by subtraction, so that's fine.
Drew? Are you a Drew hater? What the hell?
He's good. He's a good player. But, like,
yeah,
I think he's talked about too highly.
Okay.
Like, he's 35 and averaging 11 points a game. Like, what are we doing here?
What do you mean? What conversations is he?
Well, I just think that, like, he's thought of and put really highly on lists, and I think that.
What lists?
Like, I don't know. If he went on, like, the Ringer Top 100, he's probably way higher than he should be. But I'll check that out.
I bet he's like 30, or I bet he's like 40.
Yeah, that's insanely high for someone who averages 11 points a game, and who isn't like an all defense guy.
He should.
65. Okay, that's like low key fair. They should do everything they can to keep Porzingis if it means trading Drew.
Well, we're gonna probably lose both.
Yeah, I know.
All right, draft best MVP seasons of all time, and I have some asterisks. We can talk through it.
Yeah.
All right, heads or tails?
You flipping? Tails, bro.
Dude, how come?
You always ask me.
Heads or tails? Oh shit. Heads or tails?
It's heads.
Fuck you.
You're still mad that I got it.
I'll defer. No, I'm just kidding. Wait, low-key, we should probably do snake drafts.
I think for a 2-person draft, when there's a lot of really good options, I think we should just stick to one.
Okay. I kind of want to defer.
Also, to put a little like statement at the beginning, at least mine is. I'm assuming yours is too. Like my list is definitely more modern era coded. I'm more partial to seasons that I watched or that I was living through. That's life.
Okay.
I have more modern MVPs than I do MVPs from before I was born, but I still have some representation.
I'm gonna start with one that I wasn't born. I'm gonna go MJ87.
Yeah, it's on my list. What does he average? 33 points a game.
Something like that. The opening game against the Knicks, he scored 50. Holy shit.
Yep.
What was it?
Yeah, it was the Garden record at the time. I think it was maybe 54 before Curry broke it and then Melo broke it. Yeah, he won Defensive Player of the Year that year too, so that was pretty disgusting season.
Okay. There's one.
All right. Off the board. Tough. was on my list, but we're good. I'm gonna go with 2007 Tom Brady. He threw 50 touchdowns in an era where guys did not throw 50 touchdowns. They won many games. I don't remember exactly what the number was, but I'm going to check right now. They went 16-0. Wow, how about that?
Is that the year they lost? That's the year they lost, though, in the Super Bowl?
Bless. He threw 50 touchdowns.
Oh, that was you? Good shit, yeah.
It's just an insane season in the era where guys were not throwing for 50 touchdowns. It's also crazy sorry, this is a sidebar, but looking back and seeing that was Tom Brady's 7th season as a starter, and he was 30, and then he just played 20 more years. That's ridiculous.
Wait, he was 30?
15 more years. But yeah, he was 30 in 2007, and he played until 2 years ago. Ridiculous player. But yeah, Tom Brady 2007, I think it's by far the best NFL MVP. And that's my pick off the board.
Okay. I'm going to go baseball.
Wow.
What?
I'm just proud of you.
I'm going to go Barry Bonds, 2001.
Yeah. Oh, 2001. Okay.
73 homers.
Yeah, that is 73 homers. I just think he had two of his seasons. It was what was it? 2004, I think, was when he hit 45 homers, but he had even better stats. It's the right pick. It's what I want to have on my list, but there are two options.
Oh my God, some of these other Barry Bonds, ridiculous. Oh my God. So these ones are 328 BA and 01, and then in 02, 370, followed by 341, followed by 04, which was 362 batting average with 45 bombs.
609 on base percentage too in 04. But you picked the right season, 73 homers. I mean,
wait, all of those seasons that I just listed, he was above 500.
Yeah. That's
crazy.
Good player.
Yeah.
Imagine if he took roids too. Oh my God, he would have been so good. Yeah. All right, you got Barry Bonds. It was number one on my list, but
why did you not you thought I wasn't going to go baseball?
No, I was happier to get a different MVP from baseball, which I'm going to take now. This guy has won 3 of the past 4. He's probably going to win this year. And I have Shohei Ohtani 2023. Obviously, 2024 was his best hitting season, but 2023 was not very far off.
He was pitching.
And he was one of the best pitchers in the league. He finished, what, in Cy Young? 2023. Oh, no, he didn't qualify for... Sorry. Wait, did he get Cy Young that year? I don't know. Anyways, he had a 3.14 ERA. He was incredible on the mound. He had a 6.2 pitching. He had a 3.9 pitching WAR. He was a dog. That was the first year where he became Ohtani hitting too. He went from good DH to this is the best hitter in the league, and obviously it was nothing we've seen before. So that's my guy.
Okay. I'm gonna save one because I don't think you're gonna take it. I don't think you're gonna take either of these actually.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me just. This next one, I feel like it's a good
We're doing
pick.
4 rounds, right?
Yeah, 4.
Yep.
We could do honorable mention too, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna take, I'll just do it with one I know I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Tiger Woods 2000 year. No MVP though. What do we do?
It's fine.
Okay, dude. He won 9 out of 20 tournaments. That's crazy, dude. Let me read through some of these other stats. And then over 17 top 10 finishes. And it's regarded as the best season of all time. Let's go through. He won the U.S. Open, the PGA Championship, Pebble Beach. It's loading. Yeah, and I know you're a big golf guy, and me too, so this is huge. Bridgestone Invitational, Arnold Palmer Classic, Memorial Tournament, Canadian Open, Mercedes Championship, Pebble Beach, as I said, PGA Championship, U.S. Open, and the Open. So he won 3 of the 4 Grand Slams in 1 year.
Solid.
Yeah.
Good
Pretty
player.
crazy. Good player.
Can I do a sidebar with? It's not really breaking news, but it's something interesting that I just saw.
Yeah.
Did you see that Jalen Milroe is going to be in the draft room?
He's going to go to the... Where is it? It's in Indy? No, it's in Cleveland?
Green Bay.
Oh.
But you can just picture right now.
Yeah, he's not getting picked.
Every single pick in the 20s, they're just going to cut to him. He's going to be the only guy left. And he's going to be sitting there with his mom or his girlfriend or something, He's going to be on the phone all the time, like with a sick outfit on, and he's just not going to be picked. That's going to be really embarrassing. And you could
Why would he? Why is that announced?
They like announce the list of players that are going, and it's like
Who
all
else
the
is
best
going?
players in the draft. It's all the best guys, and then it's
Travis is going. Shadur.
Yeah, Travis Shadur. Shadur is not on the list. Jackson Dart is also on the list. Interesting.
Oh.
But it's all like the other.
Dude,
top
this guy
guys.
Tyler Shaw.
Yeah. It's actually Shuck, but yeah.
Yeah, why is it spelled like that though?
He's like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyways. All right. Good. That's a good pick. Definitely would not have picked him, but whatever. That's fine.
I know,
my
but
next pick,
yeah.
I'm going to NBA, and I'm taking 2015, 2016 Steph Curry.
Didn't have him on my list.
He made 400 threes. That was the first time. He shot 45%. Sorry, yeah, 45% from three and made 400 threes. I believe he was unanimous, if I remember correctly. He was unanimous. He got all 131 first-place votes. He averaged 30 points per game. It's just, they won 73-9, obviously. It's just one of the best team and individual performance seasons in the history of the NBA. We realized right then what Steph Curry really meant and what was going to happen with him. It was him at the peak of his powers. The fact that he shot 45% from three on 11 attempts per game is just insane efficiency. Also, it's pretty sick that was a decade ago, and he averaged the same amount of three-point attempts then as he does now. He was just so ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Absolute legend, and I think that's the best. And that's the best I think I've ever seen in any individual player play. The team was the best team of all time, and that's my guy. So Steph Curry.
So you know who that season reminded me of?
Hmm.
The same level of just elite shot making, and so clearly the best player on the court every single time. Caitlin Clark, 2020-23, 2020-24, Naismith Player of the Year season. Okay? Let's pull up these stats here. She averaged 32 points a game. She averaged 9 assists a game, dude. 7 rebounds a game. That shit doesn't happen, dude. Especially in college basketball.
Yeah.
College, yeah. It was just always. It was same thing as Curry. Every single time she shot, no matter where she was, it felt like it was going in. Even if it was a random buzzer beater, that was just a prayer. It felt like there was always a chance. And she took an Iowa team, this Paige. I like Paige Beckers and everything. You can never shit on an Iowa basketball player for not winning a championship when you took a shitty Iowa team composed of these random Midwest kids to the NCAA championship 2 years in a row and beat 2 top seed teams and blue buds. So that's my number 4. So yeah, you say you're next. Okay.
That's a good pick. I don't know. Kind of thought Juju Watkins was snubbed that year, but it's whatever. All right, so I have one that's similar to the pick you just made, which is a little bit more off the board, but it's just but it's a long time ago. Or I could just go more chalk.
You're saying Caitlin Clark was chalk or off the board?
No, it was a little more it wasn't just from one of the major American men's sports. I am going to go with 1969 to 70 Pete Maravich, Naismith Player of the Year. Look up those stats.
Oh, what a pick. Yeah. I know these ones.
He averaged 45 points per game in 37 minutes per game. That's just just that alone is one of the most insane things you ever heard. They only went 22-10, which is a little bit of a knock for sure, and they still had 3 NBA players in the roster, which is a little bit strange. But averaging 45 points a game in college, before there was even a 3-point line, is just one of the most insane accomplishments ever. He still shot a really good percentage. He had solid assists and rebound numbers. That's just ridiculous. And so I know that Wilt obviously had those 45 and 29.
Dude, I just looked up Wilt because I was gonna be so now I can pick Wilt. No, time out. This is to your point, bro. 1961, 1962, he averaged 50 and 26. He finished second in MVP voting.
Yeah, no.
Who was one? Was it Bill or what?
It was probably Bill, right? Because Bill was they were so much better than everyone else. Yeah, it was Bill. Bill averaged 32 less points per game than him.
And how many boards?
Sorry, 22 less points and 2 less boards.
Bill Russell averaged 23 boards a game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
love my guy, R.I.P. That's not
I got
basketball,
Pistol
bro.
Pete. I think I wasn't around for it. I just missed it. But you read stories and see stuff about just how insane he was, and I think he wanted to shout him out. So that's my a little bit off the board pick.
Dude, we should do a what if draft.
Yeah, that'd be actually a good one. We'll add that to the doc.
Yeah.
All right, you want to give your honorable mention before I hit you with my?
I got two. I got Dan Marino, 84, which I don't know. I just looked it up.
He was on my
good
list.
stats. And then just because he's my guy, 2013 Peyton, when he had like 50 touchdowns. But looking back on it, dude,
He's on my list as well.
It was stupid. It was insane, the stats and everything. But like if you watch that, their defense was just ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
And that was also the year where they got like 40 pieced by the Seahawks.
They got destroyed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right. I want to ask you a question before I tell you mine. If I told you that a kicker won the MVP in the NFL, what year would you guess that was?
Well, the NFL has only been around 60 years, so. In the
60 years
NFL?
ago? In the NFL.
Yeah, so the 60s?
Yeah. So in 1982, the season was shortened by a strike. They only played 11 games, I believe, or 10. There's this guy named Mark Mosley. And Mark Mosley...
Did he wear shoes?
23 straight field goals, which was a record at the time. He made 20 of his 21 attempts, and he was responsible for a league-high 26 points. He won the MVP, and then proceeded to miss 4 field goals in the playoffs and get cut the year after.
What a story.
He won NFL MVP as a kicker.
What year?
In a 9-game season in 1982. Obviously, in 1982, there weren't like prolific stuff happening, but there was a lot of very good players in the NFL. Dan Fouts was the runner-up for the MVP. We had Marcus Allen running hard. We had, obviously...
Theismann?
Lawrence Taylor was a dog. And Mark Mosley won MVP as a kicker and then was cut from the team that he was on 2 years later. He was brought back a few times, but he was terrible.
That's crazy.
Only made 65% of the field goals in his entire career. But he made 20 out of 21 in a season. His long was 48, and they gave him the MVP, which is just ridiculous. And I can't believe that kicker won MVP only 40 years ago.
And he was a Joe Theismann, I don't know, but he was on the Redskins. So was Theismann.
Yeah.
And they were both top 4 in voting.
Yeah.
How about that? What a story.
Yeah. So
that's what we did. I think we should have done worst MVPs.
That is the worst MVP of all time. Obviously, shout out to him. I mean, kicker winning MVP, like, you deserve.
Yeah.
He's probably like an accountant now or something, but.
Shout out him.
Shout out Mark Mosley. Mr. Mosley.
Damn. Okay. Wait, do you have any other HMs?
Any what? Oh,
honorable mentions.
Yeah, I had 2009-10 LeBron, which I think was his best year. I had 1965 Willie Mays, because that was just one of the most insane offensive seasons, coupled with the best defense at center field you've ever seen. And then I had the only NFL one that you didn't mention was 2015 Cam Newton. Obviously more modern, but
2025 Anthony Richardson.
2026
Arch
Manning.
That's my guy. You can't have him.
But yeah, Cam Newton, I mean, that like changed the game that year, and he was so dominant, and they were so dominant, and he was completely unstoppable. And I just think about the play when what's his name on the Niners was calling out that play, and he was like, "Oh, you saw that on film? Now watch this," and then he scored a touchdown.
It's that wheel route. No, I don't. I think it was Clay Matthews.
Oh, Clay Matthews. Yeah.
I think it was.
Oh, you like that? Now watch this, and then
yeah, come on. Also, him against the Seahawks and the Yoffs.
Yeah. So yeah. I love Cam.
Wait, last thing I was thinking about Nico.
Yeah.
Lavia. Is he a Hawkeye? People are saying
he's gonna hit up Bill. It looks like.
Bill Belichick?
Yeah, that's the crystal ball right now.
That makes way too much sense.
I know, right?
Dude,
people mad at him, dude. I think that's unfair. Well, just because it's the timing, people are mad. But like, he can everyone else does this. They just did it 2 months ago.
Well, they're in their season. I don't care, dude. I don't care.
They're not in their season, really, though.
They're practicing.
They're doing springs, but like, who cares? He's the best player. He's like the best player in the country. He's He's
That
gonna like just go play for whoever he wants to. He just made that decision now instead of 2 months ago. I don't care. I hope he goes to play for Bill. I think he'd be sick.
Yeah, I do too. The way you seen those videos of Bill Belichick just getting by his girlfriend on the practice field, what the fuck is that about, man?
Rough.
It is crazy.
He's lost
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, apparently. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know, but also I could see him just turning it into like a NFL factory, dude. Which would be cool.
If he stays for long enough, though. Which, to be determined.
Dude, he's so old, but
I know.
would you want the Giants to hire him?
No.
Not me either. Who would you rather have, him or Pete Carroll?
Bill.
I think I'd rather have Pete. Pete looks great, dude. Pete
He
don't
does.
look 79 or whatever. He looks 60.
76,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of corny, too. I don't need him and Russ in my life.
Yeah. All right, man. Maybe we'll do one later this
You got
week.
a hot take before we go?
I'm going to stick with the screen thing.
The screen? Oh, yeah. Like talking about like ball screen? Yeah, I think it's good.
I think that's what people are going to talk about for the next 3 years or something.
My hot take, Grizzlies don't make the playoffs.
So they lose to the Warriors tomorrow, and then they
lose to the Kings.
to
It's
Keegan
not even a
Murray
hot
goes for
take.
50.
They probably will.
Dude, the jaw.
Yeah, we could potentially do something this week. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the.
We could also just do a
Sports
draft.
World gives us something.
We could do a play-in.
Yeah.
Quick
play-in
preview, then a draft.
quick pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll figure that. We'll figure that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, great work today, dude.
Yes, sir.
Great work, man.
Peace.
See you later, man. See you later.